Hello, everybody. It's so nice to be back at home. I went away for a week and I had a fantastic time with my family. It was a wonderful week off. I really needed that time to step away from everything, to get my creative juices flowing again, to just wind down and take a deep breath. And so here I am. I'm back now, and I'm so happy to be back. It's always nice to come back home and to have just so much more energy and some more creativity and things that I have thought about that I want to implement. So yes, I hope that you guys had a great week as well. And so today I want to come on here because I want to talk a little bit about food with you. But before I do that, I also wanted to just share with you a little bit of what my vision is for the next few months in here. So I will be coming on live with topics to talk about and for you guys on a regular basis. So I'll be coming on here once a week with topics around autoimmune disease, which I believe are super important to address. And I will be starting with food because that is the easiest way to start creating a life with autoimmune disease that is really joyful and that can create a healthy, nourishing environment for your body and your soul to thrive in. So I'll talk a little bit about that today. However, in the future, if you have any requests, any topics you want me to address in this group that are really important to you or that you've been struggling with, please DM me, send me a message, let me know. I'm certainly happy to create content around that because I want this group to be so resourceful for you as you're dealing with your chronic illness. Anyways, I am here today to talk about food. So I was going to talk about certain types of foods and certain ingredients that we should be taking with an autoimmune disease, but I will start with a more broad general approach, which I believe is very important because we need to get our mindset straight around how we look at food. Because one of the biggest problems that I see in this world and with my clients is that there's so much fear around food. There's so much rigid categorizing around what diets to eat, what is best for me with an autoimmune disease, what not to eat, what are the do's, what are the don'ts when it comes to certain ingredients. And, even though there might be some truth to it and some valid reasons as to why to exclude certain foods, I just want us all to step back a moment and to take a general approach and look at food and see it for what it is. And what is food for us? Food is something that we have been doing ever since we've been created, right? So food is something that we, sorry, just one second. Sorry, I just had to attend to my daughter. She had some issues. Okay, so food is something that we have been doing ever since we've been created. We are food. Our bodies are made from byproducts of food. If we stop eating, we are wasting away eventually. We will not be able to sustain our bodies. So I want you to look at food as being something that is nourishing to yourself, but also look at it as food as being information. So food being information for your body and your cells. Food interacts with your genes. Food regulates and disrupts normal biological pathways. Food also creates chemical messengers that get certain pathways going in your body. And so food is information for each and every cell in your body to replicate, to start certain processes, to excrete waste, to implement fundamental blocks to build muscles, to build blood, to build skin, to build hair, to build everything. Without food, you would not have hair, you would not have nails, you would not have your skin, everything would be falling apart. So food is nourishment for your body and your mind, but food is also information for your body. And everything that nature has produced for us is in no way bad for us. It's always our bodies that have been created some sort of imbalances that our bodies are no longer able to digest and to assimilate certain natural foods that then lead to food sensitivity. So it's always to look inwards to see where are my imbalances when you are reacting to foods, when there's something that you're allergic to. It's never the food that is bad per se. It's the imbalances within us that were created through toxicity, through maybe a wrong dietary approach in the past. Lots of processed foods, lots of maybe binge eating, maybe lots of dieting, the yo-yo effect, maybe pesticides, maybe also emotional toxicity in your life. All of these factors play a huge role when it comes to creating imbalances in your body. So let's go back to food. So I hope that makes sense. I really just want to implement that mindset of stepping away from the rigid classification of, this diet is best, this diet is bad, these foods are bad, these foods are good. The categorizing of food is not going to be helpful for you in your journey with autoimmune disease, because every single body is unique. Everybody has different imbalances. And so everybody reacts differently to different foods. So therefore, it's really helpful if you just embrace food for what it is, which is nourishment and information. So the word diet comes from Greek and means a manner of living or way of life. So when you think about it, the dieting mindset in this world is terrible because it's not sustainable. It's not something that you can do on a sustainable basis. It's very restrictive. It puts a lot of pressure on you. It puts a lot of grief and disappointment on you when you're not able to stick to the diet, right? So, and then going back to the original meaning of the word diet, which is manner of living or way of life, it all ties into looking at food from a broader perspective of it being life, nourishment, and information. It's a way of life. You do it every day for yourself to rebuild, to re-nourish, and to change, because cells change on a regular basis. They turn over. Old cells will die and new cells will build, and the new cells will build from the food that you are providing your body with. So in terms of autoimmune disease, we all know that our immune system is in overdrive. So that's what we all have in common. And that is something that is really difficult to embrace in the beginning. Like, having to deal with a chronic disease is knowing that the diagnosis is not the cure. But however, the diagnosis that you're receiving can be really liberating to you, because it finally puts a label on something. Not to say that sticking labels is a good thing. In many ways, it isn't. However, in the beginning, it gives you a relief. It gives you, you can sigh, and you can now finally say, finally, I have something that I can work with. Finally I have something that I can explain to people what I'm dealing with. So it gives you that foundation of, okay, something is now being diagnosed. I know that my immune system is out of whack. And I can, from here on now, move forward with it and make necessary changes and find solutions to that problem. So I want you to look at your autoimmune disease as something that might be maybe a problem in the beginning, but I don't want you to stop trying to find solutions to the problem. I want you to be a solution finder. And I'm here to offer you tools and strategies to find those solutions in order to thrive with this problem. And then as you move along your journey, you will realize that this problem becomes smaller or less intimidating or less painful because your symptoms will get better. You know, it's not so daunting anymore. You have your tools in place that you can apply when you experience flares, when you experience symptoms, that you can then use in order to get back on track. So yes, and food is, going back to food, is food and autoimmune. Food is the easiest and simplest way you can always revert back to when it comes to applying the tools that are needed in order to balance your body, in order to support your immune system. So we know that your immune system is out of whack. My immune system is out of whack, and it will always be out of whack, right? Because I do have the antibodies in my body. I know that. I know there's no cure because it is what it is. The autoimmunity is there. It's not reversible. The antibodies will not go away. However, I am able to sit back and take a good look inside my body, take a good look at my symptoms, and then choose the foods that I know are going to help me to bring balance back to my body, to support my cells, to support my immune system in order to soothe it and in order to have it in a bit more relaxed state, to lower my inflammation. And that's what we want. We want to lower inflammation in our body, which you can absolutely do, 100% do, with the proper food and the proper diet. However, diet not being one of the rigid categorized diets, but diet being the way of life, the manner of living, the way you consistently, daily eat and show up for yourself and your body by choosing the foods that are helping, supporting your cells, and you know, supporting your neurotransmitters and your polyphenol activity and your detoxification pathways. And so when you look at that, you will realize that it's a lot of you know, trial and error with food. There's certain foods, obviously, that are super good generally for everybody, but especially for us in terms of antioxidants and greens and all that good stuff. But I will go into more details about what foods are really, really helpful and for what reason in my next video. Today, I just really wanted to focus on allowing yourself to step back from the mindset of rigid dieting, you know, categorizing foods, and just allowing yourself to be more gentle with yourself, to step away from perfectionism You do not have to be perfect in any ways when it comes to diet or food, and just to embrace it for what it is and to start feeling the nourishment and start seeing food as information that is helping your body to decide what it needs to incorporate in order to lower inflammation in your body. And how to do that exactly with what types of foods, I will go a little bit about in my next video. Okay, guys, so I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in my next video.